today I want to talk about the Canon R lineup, the EOS R lineup. Um, every single camera on this lineup to date. Um, I believe the Canon R6 Mark III came out this year, and I'm going to be including that one as well. But first, I'm going to talk about the entire lineup in general, and then I'm going to speak about certain individual cameras, getting into specifics and whatnot. Um, but to gauge on where I'm coming from with this, I am first a videographer, secondly a photographer. It's just easier for me to do videos at the moment than it is to do photos. I want to do both. Is just that I talked about this on the channel as well. I wanted to do landscape photography, and at the moment I can't do landscape, specifically landscape, because Blue Ridge Parkway is close to me, but it's inconvenient to try to get there now. And I don't have like the Canon. I'm trying to get the Canon 5D Mark IV to do landscape photography, and then once I get that, because I just want to plan on doing documentary stuff with the Canon 90D here. But I'm gonna get the Canon 5D Mark IV to do specifically landscape photography. Get all the lenses for those as well, which will be no problem. And do landscape photography in Blue Ridge Parkway. Probably go hiking and that sort of thing. So I just have to plan it out very well, and I'll let you guys know when that would happen, and you'll see it on the YouTube channel. I'm not excited for the the R lineup, and I'm not happy in how it's been handled. I'm probably going to burn some bridges with Canon users. However, that would be strange because I have the Canon 90D, probably the last best DSLR cameras that they've made, released in 2019, the same year as the Canon RP came out. Let me start out with this way. I've tested the Canon RP when I was working at Biltmore Estate, and I rented it out, basically trying to get a feel for the camera. It's a good camera. It's good for photos, not for video, right? The 4K mode in that camera is unusable, entirely unusable. You have 3 strikes going on with that one. You have the heavy crop, 1.7 times crop. You have the switch to contrast-based autofocus, and then you have certain modes, certain features that you would have if you were recording in 1080p and whatnot. So 3 strikes, you're out, essentially. Forget about the Canon RP being used as a video or a vlogging camera. Forget about it. I'm better off using the 90D for that as well. I looked into the Canon EOS R very early. It was $2,500. And for that, you do get C-Log Canon codec for like super special type of colors, more dynamic range. You can expose for the sky at the same time while you're exposing for yourself in terms of lighting and whatnot, which is really, really cool. A lot of people weren't happy about it because they shipped it without the 24 frames for video. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this, Canon? To make things worse. And I kind of wish that people get up in arms about this too. There's only 3 cameras that do 4K 120 frames per second. That is the Canon R5, the Canon R5C, and the Canon R3. They're high-end cameras. That's $2,000 plus. Used, by the way. Yeah. Talk about crippling their entire lineup. This entire lineup is crippled, okay? Going from the EOS R all the way up to what's now the R100, right? The R100 is a terrible camera. No touchscreen in the big 2026. Are you serious? No touchscreen. 4K is crippled just like the Canon RP is. These APS-C cameras are the most sold, the most sought after because they're the most affordable. And what they've done with the Canon R7, the Canon R10, and the Canon R100 is absolutely, it's malpractice. It's malpractice, exactly what it is, right? You crippled your potentially best-selling cameras, right? There is no Rebel equivalent to this lineup. There is no Rebel T4i or T8i to this lineup because they're crippling the entire thing. Not one of their APS-C cameras have 4K 60. Not one of their APS-C cameras have 4K 120 frames. Maybe, yes, with the 1080p 120 frames, yes, for super slow motion. But I technically I have that with the 90D. You can just upscale it when you're exporting a video of the sort. But why can't you just do it in camera? Why? And then you have the crop with the APS-C. It's nonsense. This is completely nonsense. And I know why they're doing it. They're not doing it, they're doing it to protect their margins. They're not doing this because, it's the sensor, it's just the processor, it's just the battery, this, that, and the other. Then why not just keep the same battery as the 90D have for the R8? Why not? It's a full frame camera. Why not just okay, let's make the best photo camera we can, and then let's make the best affordable photo camera we can, and let's repeat that. So each camera can stand out on their own. We're not getting that. We're not. Again, there is no Canon Rebel series for the R, right? By Rebel series, I mean the SL lineup, those three cameras. And then what I'm shooting on right now, the 90D, that series, and then the TI series. There is no equivalent. So what you have to do to get into the R lineup is either go for the full frame, fully featured, full priced cameras as well. You're looking at $2,700 with that, and then you're looking at $2,500 lens, and you have $2,500 prime lens over there with the 30, the 35 and the 50 and the 85 are cheaper, right? Breaking the bank, essentially. If you look at the APS-C cameras, you're looking at cripple hammer, cripple hammer, all in at the same time for the cost of their margins and their stupid feature thing. It has to be a marketing type of ploy, right? Because they're trying to protect each camera instead of allowing one just to stand out on its own. So what you have is, this time this camera has more features than the other one. This time this camera has more features than the other one. This time this camera has more features than the other one, the one that you want. Like for me, I said I'm a videographer. I care about slow-mo, I care about time-lapse within the camera, not having to buy a stupid dongle remote to do it manually. I wanted to do it in camera. So I'm kind of in a stump at the moment. I want to upgrade. I would love to upgrade. But it seems like the Canon is more concerned about their bottom line, charging people $2,500 for a body, and then almost $3,000 for a camera body. And then the lenses on top of that. You're looking at almost $10,000 for a few lenses and one camera body. That's crazy. Crazy. So if you can afford it, great. You can go ahead with the full frame. If you can't afford it, you're going to have some cutbacks with the APS-Cs. I do not like how they're doing that. I don't like it at all. It seems like I'm mainly upset with this lineup, but I'm ignoring what's happening with the past. Here's my thing is, how many times did people have to get up in arms about missing features, blaring missing features for their cameras? How many times have we had that happen? Right? We had that happen with the R, the original USR, and then the RP missing 24 frames per second. I don't understand how that is even possible. You launch a camera without the basic amenities, 24 frames, when most movies are shot with 24 frames. Most cinema cameras have 24 frames right out the box. I don't understand how that needs to happen. But anyway, the R5 overheating, the R5C overheating, the R6 overheating, the R8 being overpriced, $1,500. It's not R3 sharp, it's not R5 sharp, but it's sharp enough. Still don't have APS-C lenses that can stand up on their own in comparison to the full frame lenses that are astronomically priced, and they do a good job, right? My favorite lens of that lineup is the 35 lens, the 35 prime lens, the 24 to 105. I've had that with the RP. Fantastic lens, fantastic. Even if it's at f.4, it still does the job well enough. They have good lenses. They really do. They have really, really, really well-rounded lenses. They're incredibly well made as well. But they also break the bank as well. So instead of trying to focus on being a videographer for me or a photographer, in a sense, you have to consider what you can afford, because tight margins, right? That's the problem. That's a big problem. I said the other day on X, the Canon the Canon R100 is a terrible camera. It is an insult to the entire lineup, and I still stand by that, right? Let me repeat. No touchscreen in a modern camera today. Who is doing that right now? Fuji has the majority of all their mirrorless cameras. I'm probably missing one, but Fujifilm has their mirrorless camera lineup. All of them has touchscreens. Sony most definitely has their touchscreens on lock, as well as Olympus, the guys that we don't talk about normally. Nikon has almost all their cameras with a touchscreen. I have to talk about a camera that doesn't have a touchscreen in 2026. The lens lineup, unless you can justify them price-wise or usability-wise, most of them are okay. They are usable. I have not used them myself, and I don't consider. I don't think I can even stomach trying to use them. Even f-stopper, even the good folks at Petapixel said that they're okay, but they're not great. Right? So they're skipping out on features on purpose, right? It takes a lot of people to get upset, and then they decide to put up a software update. Why is all of this back and forth need to happen? Why can't they just have the good common sense and say, okay, this is a camera, put in 24 frames per second. No ifs, ands, or buts. But no, we have to do the whole circling around with outrage online, angry comments, and then, they just begrudgingly decide to give in to what the people want. It's your wallets. It's your wallets, not mine. Not mine. You can keep rewarding them to do this nonsense. I won't. I won't be. Anyway, that's all I have to say for the moment until something annoys me, in which I have to say it again in another 10-minute video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications.